Hi guys, on this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process on how I became a flight attendant. Let's begin.
This is my look, my life, my book. This is my destiny. This is my destiny.
Step 5, face-to-face interview. Hi guys, welcome to the video and congratulations, you made it to step number 5. If we haven't met yet, my name is Josephine Doroha. You can call me Jojo for short. I'm a flight attendant at one of the main airlines in the United States. Alright, let's talk about face-to-face interview. I have a few notes here because it's been a while since I've done my face-to-face, so I wanted to make sure that I actually share with you everything that I remember. To start, I got invited with 3 companies for face-to-face interviews. So the first one who invited me was, regional airline, and then I have another regional airline that invited me, and then main airline. So I got 3 total. I went to the 2 invitations, which is 1 main airline and 1 regional. So let's start with the regional airline because that's the first one that I went. And to begin, they paid my airfare and shuttle transportation, so I didn't have to worry about any of my transportation, which is amazing. It was snowing that day or that morning. I almost didn't make it. I seriously almost didn't make it. So I'm glad that I still powered through it. Drove in a really blizzard. Oh, crazy. I'm gonna put, I don't know, I probably put it on my previous vlog, so check out my old vlogs. You'll probably see how crazy that time was. All right, first thing, as soon as I get to the location where we're gonna do the interview, we waited at the cafeteria. I think this was in Charlotte. Yeah, this was in Charlotte. So we waited at the cafeteria, and I think I got there super early, so a lot of us were actually having lunch or snacks. And then about 5 minutes before our appointment time, someone, one of the interviewers, picked us up from the cafeteria and brought us up to, I think it was the 3rd floor. So we walk into a room. It's a big room. So we have 3 or 4 long tables, and then 1 long tables in the back where all the interviewers were sitting. So as soon as we get to that room, I sat in the back because I want to be seeing and hearing the interviewers. And I'm like, hey, I want you to see me, I'm here. So yes, and then as soon as we are all settled, there's a few people that's late, which is, I'm surprised they're late, because that alone, that would be not a good thing. So anyways, we sign in, we show, they asked us to bring the letter of invitation, for the face-to-face, and then we show that, and then the passport and driver's license or whatever ID, you brought. I think I also have my social security card, so I gave that all to them. And then, what did we do? After we signed in, all the interviewers, they went in front to introduce themselves individually, and after that we introduce ourselves one at a time, obviously. After that, we watch a company video presentation. This includes the history, the benefits, a day in the life of a flight attendant kind of thing, and then even the salary. They explained to us the salary, which is amazing. We didn't even have to ask for it, so that's pretty cool. And then we were given a piece of paper to read. We're this is a little hat, and then we draw, we pick, and then I don't think all of us did it. Did all of us did it? I don't remember, but I think it was a volunteer thing, so obviously I raised my hand and I volunteered. And it's probably all of us. I really don't remember. But anyways, either way, I picked, you know, one of those thing in the hat, and then I don't remember what I had, but it was one of those flight attendants PAs, and it was super simple. I think they just want to make sure that you know how to read and that you can enunciate and stuff like that. So I read it as if I am doing a PA on the plane. And then after that, we had a, you know, there's a room here and there's another room beside that room. And they called us for a one-on-one interview. And the other room, it's one-on-one, but there's like 5 of them there, one-on-one with each individual interviewers. But we're all in the same room, so I can actually hear the answer from the other side. So I try to really block everything as if I'm only with one person in that room. The questions is probably about 8 to 10 questions, and I can tell that they're picking from wherever they're holding. They're picking questions there, and they'll ask you about a lot about situational. If you want to know the questions, actually go back to my video interview, which is step 4. I'm telling you, all of the questions there are probably gonna be asked on your face-to-face. It's super similar. So yeah, a lot of like situational. What are you gonna do in case somebody called out sick and somebody asked you to work, stuff like that. And you know, tell me about yourself. And situation like questions like, why would you want to work for this company? Yeah, stuff like that. So it's super similar from the video interview. I would totally go back on that video. I will put a link on that on this somewhere here, okay, or down below on the description box. And then after that one-on-one interview, we went back to the main room. And then what did we do? Back to the main room, and then we got called individually. And when we got called, I don't know what they asked them. On my case, they asked me if I want to, if I'm okay and if I could survive with a salary. And of course I said yes, because at that time I really want to get in. But honestly, the regional airline salary, it's almost impossible to survive unless you have help from your family. It depends on your lifestyle, I guess. If you don't have to pay rent, I think it's okay. If you're living with your mom or your parents, if you don't have a lot of bills, I guess it's okay. So I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just not for my lifestyle, you know, and it's just not really what I would prefer to really survive or to even save money. But it was doable because, you know, if you get help from family, it should be fine. But I said yes because I really want to get into an airline, and that was my very first interview at that time. So I said yes, I'm okay with it, because I was thinking I will have another job. That's why I think the reason why I said yes, because at that time, you know, that was my plan to get another job. But if I don't have to, it's better if I just have, you know, a career as a flight attendant, and if I want to get another job, it won't be like a force. You know, it will be something that I just want to do on the side. But anyways, I did say yes, which is true. I was really willing to sacrifice for a little bit until I figured it out, because I really want to get into this flight attendant career. And then they also asked me if I'm willing to relocate if needed. And I said yes, because I was willing to relocate. After they asked those questions, we didn't have to go back to the main room, so we pretty much just left, and they said we're all set to go. All right, so for the main airlines, my face-to-face interview was a little bit different than the regional airlines. So first of all, they also pay for our transportation, you know, the airfare and the shuttle. So we were all set with that. We didn't have to come up with our own money for transportation, which is super awesome. So first thing, as soon as we get to the location, which is in Dallas Fort Worth, we waited on the lobby with all the other applicants and we chatted. It's a different group. This group, I can tell they're more experienced. A lot of them have been going back and forth. One of them actually has done it for like 5 times already. That interview was his 6th time. So I'm like, wow. So he kept going back and going back. So a lot of these applicants that I met on this main airline are mostly experienced. So I was just listening to them. I was like, and they're more confident, you can tell. So I was totally confident. I was on it. I was like, this is what I told myself. I actually verbally, physically told somebody. I told this lady, I don't remember her name. I wish I could contact her and tell her. See, told you so. I told her that I'm here for the interview. I already got the job. I am just here to finish this process. I didn't tell that to her in a very cocky way. I was just very, I was feeling it, man. I was just like, oh my God, I already got the job. Inside of me, I already got the job. I was just going to go with the process. I told myself, I manifested it, that I am already working as a flight attendant with this specific company. And that day, it was just a process and I just had to go with it. That was my thinking. I don't know. What was I thinking? I think because it was my second face-to-face interview. So I am a little bit more, I got this, you know. There's a lot of very experienced people that's been there. A lot of people that's already been a flight attendant. And I didn't get intimidated at all. Usually I probably would, but I didn't. For some reason, I was on that day. I was just like, I got this. So after we waited on the lobby with all the other applicants, we were picked up by one of the interviewers. We went to that other building, and it was first floor. There's 5 round tables. This I know by memory. 5 round tables, and it was 6 applicants per table, so it was 30 of us total. I remember it because it was such an easy math. They just scrambled us. I don't know how they sit us. I don't know what they're looking for. And there's like at least 5 or 6 people, I believe, in the room. Maybe 5. There's one which is the host, the main host, and there's other person that is taking all the identification, passport and all that stuff, ID. And then there's 3 or 4 that's walking around kind of like watching us and saying hello. You know, they're very welcoming. It's not really intimidating, to be honest with you. The main, even the regional, it was not that intimidating. You know, you get nervous, but intimidating, I don't think so. They're very nice. They're super nice. I don't know about your experience, but my experience, they're super nice. They want you to be there. They want to have you. That's how I feel. So anyways, as soon as we sat, there was a lot of stuff on the table. I can tell it's for like activities. And then there's a piece of paper for each of us to have to answer. It was 3 questions. I wish I remember all of them. I seriously don't remember. It was like, tell me which comes first, which is most important to you, something like that. It was like 5 or 6 options, so you would number it 1 to 6. I seriously don't remember the question, so I'm sorry I can't share that with you. And then after we submit all our documents, you know, we sat down again and we had a group activity, and the activity is super simple. It's actually kind of fun. So we write down all our things that people couldn't guess. For example, I wrote down for myself, I was a lead singer in the band. You know, nobody knows that I was the lead singer in the band. So I wrote that down, and some of my of the applicants, they wrote, you know, I was in military, or I used to work in Starbucks, something like that. But anyway, something that's unique amongst us that people couldn't guess. And yeah, that was a fun group activity. And I think this is just my opinion. I noticed people are going around and walking while we're doing the activity. I think they are observing on how you actually interact with your colleagues to be, you know? So how would you treat them? All right, so after the group activity, we were called in small group. This is the part that is a little bit nerve-wracking. So they call us, 5 of us, I believe, and they didn't call specifically everyone at the same table, so they kind of randomly called us. And then that group goes to another room. So in that room, it has like 5 chairs, and then there's 3 interviewers in front of you. So you're face to face like that. And I was right here, which is the number 1, you know, to be asked. So I sat there, I don't know why. And I was the first one to get asked. And the first one, I don't remember the question, but some of the questions are really super similar, if not exactly the same, on the video interview. So I'm gonna put a link here on this or on the description box. So please go back to that and practice it, but don't memorize it. This is the reason why. When you memorize it, when you forget, you're just gonna go like blank. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you know it by heart and it's your real and actual situation that you're applying to, it will show. It will show that you are telling them your honest to goodness truth answer and your authentic answer, not something that you just grab from the internet. So make sure that you really practice that, but do not memorize it. Do not memorize your answers, you guys. Some of the questions are all the same to be answered by all of us. Some of them are not the same. So we have like different questions. So make sure that you are confident with your answer. So what I can tell you is when you answer questions, make sure that you think first. As soon as they ask you, you don't have to talk right away. They know that you're trying to digest the questions and trying to prepare so you can give them a great answer. So when they asked me, I actually really had to pause for a little bit and repeat the question to myself, even verbally, I think I did, and explain to them my answer. And I know my answers are not as perfect as the other lady that didn't make it. It was super perfect. I don't know why she didn't make it. I don't know what they're looking for, but I think there's something that they find that it's not authentic. So, or that it's not sincere. I don't know what they found. All I know is she didn't make it. So I was kind of puzzled why. But anyways, pause, think, really think about the questions before you answer, because the question's probably super simple and you're making it too complicated. Just pause so you can prepare and then go for it. And even if you make a mistake in the middle of your answer, it's okay. Keep going, keep moving. You can correct your mistake if you remember to do it, but if not, sometimes, you know, when you're there in front of them, it's totally different when you're not in front of them. So just do your best. All right, what's next? So after the group interview, we went back to the room and then they did a company presentation, history of the company, benefits, and guess what? They also talk about the salary. See, it's not a secret. So it's out there. and you don't even have to ask. They also show a day in the life of a flight attendant, and we did a Q&A. I like the Q&A because you actually get to ask pretty much everything. But when you do your Q&A, ask some intelligent, thoughtful questions. All right? I know there's no such thing as stupid questions, but if somebody already asked that question and you just didn't pay attention and you ask that again, I don't know. That just means that you're not paying attention. So don't ask questions that have already been answered. All right? And pay attention. Pay attention. And if you really just didn't understand, the answer, or you didn't remember the answer, of course you could ask that. But try to pay attention as much as you can, because you're there and you wanted to work for them and you want to be a part of that company. So show as much interest so they can show interest with you as well. Okay, I just wanted to add this. I did get an invite with 3 companies, but I'm just telling you, not everyone is going to give you a face-to-face invitation. Like one of the main airlines that I applied to, I got a letter that they have enough applicants, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, at the end of the day, they just didn't like me. Not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is going to be a great fit for you. So make sure that you're ready for rejections. All right? My mom is doing laundry when I'm filming. I told her to pause it first. Naipinos mo na? All right, I'm almost done. So that's it for now, you guys, for step number 5, face-to-face interview. Once again, thank you very much for watching JojoTV. I will see you on the next video. Hope this video helps you with your goal to become a flight attendant. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask down below. I'd be glad to answer your questions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel, JojoTV. Thank you very much for your time. Maraming salamat po. Mwah!
This is my look, my life, my book. This is my destiny. This is my destiny. You can sit down with your trouble, but for me it's plain to see.